Leslye Headland has said some dumb things in the past. For one, she claimed the Acolyte is a mixture of Frozen meets Kill Bill. But folks, this latest statement just might kill you. Hang on to your chair. You might need a hanky to wipe away the tears as you laugh. Smylo Ren, the big villain, the big baddie, Mr. Scary himself, is based on a video game meme, a naked man with a bucket on his head. Hello folks, welcome back to the channel that is changing hearts and minds simply by telling the truth in a way that the mainstream media just cannot do so. We're happy to have you here folks as we get ready to do the thing we do so well, which is expose the insanity of Holly Weird. And it doesn't get weirder than the former personal assistant to Harvey Weinstein, now celebrated as a Star Wars pioneer. Leslye Headland, she's out there making more absolutely lambastic, sensational, and insane statements regarding the Acolyte. And folks, we're here to tell you, you're not going to believe what the villain is based on. Actually, if you've watched any of the Acolyte, chances are you might just think this is, par of the course. None of the show makes sense. So why would the showrunner? So guys, I want to pause on the conversation about the episode because let's get into some backstory about how we arrived here. As we've said, this was awful. I mean, we have seen some awful episodes. This was the worst. So the sources that I had telling me that this was the worst episode, man, did they nail it. So how did it come to be that we had an episode where it feels like it was not made by a human? Like, how can that possibly be? Well, take a look at this. This is an article out of Forbes that came out from our good friend Scott Mendelson, Paul Tassi, earlier today. The Acolyte's new Sith was inspired by Elden Ring's Let Me Solo Her. So in case you all are wondering where Leslye Headland goes for her... Yeah, it does look... Yeah, exactly right. In case you all are wondering where Leslye Headland goes for inspiration, this is it. In a wide-ranging inverse interview with the Acolyte showrunner Leslye Headland, we got a whole lot of new information about Khmer, if that's even his name, the new Sith that is introduced last week in a stunning fashion. One thing that stood out was his wild combat style. No. And his unique look. No. A flowing draped robe and just 2 pieces of armor, a helmet and gauntlet made of lightsaber killing cortosis. In other words, he's covered in magic armor, the likes of which we've never seen. Instead, Headland says that this is what she said. We have to get him in something flowy. As soon as I said he didn't have armor, everyone lost their mind. How can you not have armor? I just want to emphasize here. This means she doesn't know anything. The guy is wearing Cortosis armor, and she says he doesn't have armor. We are dealing with full-blown idiots. How can you not have armor?
Any armor?
I was like, why would you wear armor if you're not going to get hit? It's like the Elden Ring costume, the Elden Bling. When you summon people, you always summon the people that aren't wearing anything, and it's like, these people are blanking crazy. Why wear armor if you're not going to get hit? Goes hard. What she is no doubt referencing is the most famous example of this in Elden Ring, a player named Let Me Solo Her, who spends months helping people beat Millennia, the hardest boss in the game, wearing nothing but a loincloth and a pot on his head. Leslye Headland, who designed this villain and designed this show and is the showrunner and is the writer, doesn't know that he's wearing armor that is deeply ingrained in lore. She has no idea what she's talking about. She thinks he's running around naked. Maybe she got confused with this episode. Guys, is this yet more evidence that we're not dealing with simple incompetence? We are dealing with the behemoth of all morons. I mean, this is...
No, this is actually really brilliant marketing because Elden Ring is huge right now. They just released the DLC Shadow of the Erd Tree, so it's like super popular. So basically, she's trying to attach herself to the popularity of Elden Ring and try and say like, oh, look, our television show is just like Elden Ring, is inspired by it. That's what she's trying to do.
Well, John, imagine if George Lucas had come out back in the 70s and said, oh yeah, we really designed Darth Vader based on the idea that he would not have a helmet. That's why he doesn't wear a helmet, because we wanted him to really not have a helmet. It's like,
He would look like what is his name? Cool Al Bundy, whatever that guy's name is. He looked like him with his cone chopped off. Yeah,
So I haven't really gotten a good look at this guy. I saw the brief clips of the fight where he was using the cortosis to short out the lightsabers. He's obviously got the helmet. He's got a gauntlet or a vambrace. Did he use anything else, or is it?
He kicks.
He has a lightsaber that he and if you watch the Shadowversity episode on the fight, shoo. Anyways, you need to watch that.
You do.
He has a moment where he can split the lightsaber in half, and he has a small lightsaber dagger.
I was just curious if when she's saying that we designed him not to have armor, if she was thinking like a suit, if she's getting away with that by saying that because it's just the helmet and a vambrace, that he's not really armored per se.
Lauren, I suspect that her exposure to armor would have come out of the Ahsoka, big bad guy that is.
I think it's more Vader. I think it's just Darth Vader is in a giant suit of armor, and that's why she thinks
armor.
Yeah.
All right.
But you don't think that what he's wearing is a suit of armor?
I would consider Vader's suit to be armor. It's also a life support suit, but I mean,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The imagery is the Black Knight from. Yeah, so yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
So,
I feel
Leslye Headland appears not to understand her own character.
They have all these Vader style armor pieces on them. If you look at the SWTOR and all that stuff.
Right. No, indeed. It's just to what extent? I mean, is that Beskar, whatever you say, Beskar? Excuse me. Is that or is it something else that they're wrapping themselves in or making their shoulder pads out of or whatever? I mean, the vamp braces I understand, in sword combat, but
well, I think the other thing to keep in mind is that, I mean, you've got two templates for the Sith. You've got the Heavy, which is the Vader style character, and you've got the Evil Sorcerer, which is the Emperor. He never wears armor.
No, he doesn't need it.
But Dooku doesn't either.
What's that?
By the way, that's true. And
either.
Dooku is one of my favorite bad guys, right? Just old school awesome. Right.
Neither does Maul either when you come down to that. So
true.
It's like this isn't like something new for the Sith. No. Usually they're trying to hide. You're not going to advertise yourself by So
dude, he did such a bad job of hiding. It was like we all know who you are, dummy. Yeah.
Well, I do wonder if John's theory is wrong though for one reason, because as you said, he appears to have knowledge. What's that?
Which theory?
The one about him. I'm probably going to get this wrong. It's like I suspect that he was embedded with the witches. And maybe responsible for killing them, because
theory is 100% wrong. There's no way that Leslye Headland would actually do that.
Right. I'm guessing probably what they're doing is they're going to treat him kind of like a cuckoo bird and say that he had embedded himself inside these witches to kind of study their ways, being the sneaky Sith that he is, trying to learn various other secrets of other Force traditions. So,
and he has their ability to get inside their heads.
But to circle back around to this, John, you're saying that you think that this is sort of a retcon in the headcanon of Leslye, that actually Smylo Ren is not based at all probably on an Elden Ring character. It's just something she's come up with to try to 100%. Drive some enthusiasm.
Has nothing to do with what her actual inspirations were. They're just literally using this because Elden Ring is like the biggest game right now.
And folks, we've come to the end yet again. Another video of pure, unfiltered excellence right here on the WDW Pro Channel. What a joy it has been to share our time with you. We appreciate it. We see you. You are not overlooked, folks. You are seen and appreciated right here on the channel. On the way out the door, folks, you can help us send this out to even more folks who might join our community. Click the like button, share, subscribe. Click it, stick it to the algorithms, it's the notification bell, and drop a comment right on down below. Folks, until the next time, we hope you keep learning, keep growing, and keep, of course, having fun.